All right. Hey, good morning, Penfield. We hope everyone is doing great. Looking forward to, I believe this is week 3 of distance learning. So we're back with Penfield Mornings. I have myself and Dr. Carlin here. We have a couple of guests. We have Ms. Rudolph, Mr. Burnett, and Mr. Shoemaker. And kind of towards the end of the program, we're going to ask them a couple of questions. But first, I want to kind of give you guys a little reminder of the week schedule. This week, Monday, we start off it as an F day. Tuesday, you do not have any school, so please don't get online and expect your teacher's going to put work out there for you. They're not. They're going to be engaged in some professional development activities online, so there is no school on Tuesday. Wednesday is an A day. Thursday is a B day, and Friday is a C day. They are all days that we're scheduled to be in session. So please make certain that you guys are logging in every day. I think it's important. I also think it's important that we set up a schedule. If you haven't set up a schedule and gotten yourself into a routine, I think it's really important that you start doing that. So dedicating 2 hours, 3 hours a day of the classes and the work that you need to do. Being aware of the emails that we're sending out in the morning time, because we're giving you what letter days they are, because we are seeing some kids are not getting into their minor classes, and we think sometimes that's because we're not certain what letter day they are meeting. So look at the email on the letter day so you're aware of what day of the week it is for what minor class that you need to be in. But most importantly is continue working hard like we know you are. Checking in with your teachers if you have questions. If you're sending them an email, check back a little later on the day because the teachers will respond back to you looking at their office hours. I think a lot of teachers are now going to try and do some creative things during office hours. So please check in with them and get as much support as you guys can. We know you all are working hard. We appreciate everything you're doing. Just some little suggestions that we're seeing that we want to kind of share with you. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Carlin because I know last week I did send out this email about item retrieval and getting stuff back from school. So I want to have Dr. Carlin talk to you just a little bit about, expectations, what we're looking at, and some things from there.
All right. Thanks, Dr. O'Sullivan. That is great advice for our Penfield kids. Hey, we miss you. Keep working and doing the best that you can. We see that. So keep it up. I do want to talk to you about locker retrieval. So you got a link from Dr. O'Sullivan, and I need everybody, we need everybody to get onto that sheet and fill out the information that's on it. So it's your name, and then there's sections for what items you have in your locker. Make sure you fill them out to the best of your ability. If you can't remember, you can write that. I don't remember, but I might have a jacket or something like that. That would be helpful. So once we get all that information, and I would rather have it in sooner than later, we're going to develop a plan to go down to your locker, get the stuff that's in there, put it in a bag, and bring it upstairs to an area within our school. And then we're going to have a day that we're going to, and we'll reach out to you, Dr. O'Sullivan will reach out to you, where you can come and pick up the stuff that's in your locker, right? But the first step is you have to fill out the sheet that Dr. O'Sullivan sent you. So make sure that you might, go back into your emails and make sure that you find that so we can get your belongings to you as quickly as possible. All right. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to shift it back to Dr. O'Sullivan so we can find out about our teachers. Dr. O?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Carlin. Just do have one other quick reminder. Dr. Carlin saying this reminded me is that, remember, if you were looking at, course verifications went live last week. If you're looking at overriding a course that has been recommended to you, the form must be completed by May 1st, which is this Friday. So please get those in. Anything after Friday will not be considered. So you need to get that information in. If you have questions, reach out to your guidance counselor or, Dr. Carlin or myself. So with that being said, as I said, we have, Ms. Rudolph, Mr. Burnett, and Mr. Shoemaker here. So what we're going to do is got a couple of questions that we want to ask them, get to know them a little bit better. And so what we'll probably do is I'll start with Ms. Rudolph, go to Mr. Burnett, and then Mr. Shoemaker in the order. I've got 4 questions. You guys can all answer the same one. So you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. So Ms. Rudolph, first question we have for you are there any embarrassing teaching moments you are willing to share? And if so, what are they?
Wow, this question's really difficult. I was thinking that I wasn't willing to share any because they're usually like some unintended, inappropriate innuendo. And so it would be inappropriate to share them. But there is one that just came into my mind. my I kept saying Nike instead of Nike, and my second period 8th graders were like in the room laughing at me, and I was like, why is everybody laughing? Like, what am I saying wrong? And like we were talking about marketing or something, and I just kept saying Nike and instead of Nike, and they corrected me, and I felt embarrassed about my mispronunciation of such a popular brand of clothing.
Now I'm looking confused. Like, I've always said Nike too. So
right, they were like, really laughing at me, like whispering about me and stuff. I was like, what is it? What am I missing?
Right. So I certainly learned something new. Mr. Burnett, how about you, sir?
Mine's not embarrassing. It was it had more to do with the fact that I had literally just started teaching. It was probably the first or second week I was teaching, and I'd showed a video that showed somebody getting an insulin shot, and I turned the video off and I turned back to talk to the class, and I hear this crash, and I had a student who was trying to leave the room because she passed out, hit her forehead on the glass door.
Oh my goodness.
Long story short, she was fine, but I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I gonna do?
Wow.
But everything turned out just fine.
Oh, I'm glad for that. Wow. Well, I wasn't expecting that one. Okay, Mr. Shoemaker, how about you, sir?
I have a couple mispronunciations like Mrs. Rudolph that are not appropriate to share. But one embarrassing story for me was when I was in my first year. I was up in room 25, and I used to have my keys and my swipe on a lanyard. And while I was talking to the class, I always used to swing it around like this. Well, it flew off of my finger and nailed a girl right in the face. And he was pretty close. So I felt really bad. I was super embarrassed. But luckily she was a good sport about it.
So there's definitely no more twirling of your lanyard with keys on it now.
No, I don't. That's why I don't do a lanyard anymore for that reason.
Oh my. All right. Now that was interesting. All right. So next question we have for you guys is, do you see any differences between your morning students versus your afternoon students? Mrs. Rudolph.
Yeah. Crickets to chaos. I mean, I've had my first period last or at the end of the day, and can see even in just that example that they're crickets to chaos. Like, I can't get them to say anything in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I can't get them to stop talking.
All right. Interesting. Mr. Burnett.
I would echo that. Absolutely. Same students in the morning are, calm and quiet. In the afternoon, they're not out of control, but there's a noticeable difference in the energy level.
All right, Mr. Shu.
Same sort of thing. I don't have a whole lot to add to that. Crickets to chaos. I like that, Mrs. Rudolph. That's a good way to put that. Yeah, very, generally though, more well-behaved in the morning, a little more chaotic in the afternoon, as can be expected. Right. I think the same goes for myself too, actually.
Yep. I will agree with you that I certainly have more energy in the afternoon after you kind of waking up. It's almost like after lunch is when that happens and that changeover comes.
I'm the opposite.
Next one I've got is this, and I guess this is one of my favorites. I'll probably be asking it every week. What song do you know all the lyrics to? So, and if you want to kind of give us a little snippet of that, you're more than welcome to. So I'm going to lead it off with you, Mrs. Rudolph. What song do you know all the lyrics to?
I'm a bit of a karaoke nerd. I love to sing karaoke, and the song that I every time will warm up with is Run This Town. By Rihanna, Jay-Z, and Kanye West. And I know every word. And
all right.
I feel it coming in the air. Hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. There's my
Nice. I gotta say, Mr. Burnett, I'm going to you. So, what do you have for us? I'm
on the opposite end of the spectrum. There are almost no songs that I know the words of.
Really?
When I listen to music, I do not listen to the words. So literally, not only that, but when I do have to sing, I'm terrible. So I don't sing anymore. The last time I sang in public was at my brother's wedding, and my cousin started laughing at me. But no, I literally I know words to almost nothing, short of maybe "Happy Birthday."
Okay, we'll go with "Happy Birthday" for you.
I mean,
that would be one there. Happy birthday. All right. How about you, Mr. Shu?
I know the words of a lot of songs. I like a lot of hip hop. I like alternative rock. The first song that popped into my head though was from when I was in like the middle school to high school age, by Lupe Fiasco, "Kick Push." I don't know if anybody knows that song, but that's like from when I was a kid. I know all the words to that song. I will not be singing or rapping it for you though.
I was going to say, I've never heard of that one, so that maybe at another time, so we can get you out there and have one for you. All right. Last question I have for everyone is, if you were to be given a superlative in school, what would it have been? So, Mrs. Rudolph.
I'm sorry to say, Dr. O'Sullivan, that I probably would have been in your office a lot in middle school. If I were given a superlative, it would have been most rebellious or least likely to conform.
Okay. All right. All right.
Sorry.
Most likely to visit the main office. All right. Mr. Burnett.
Not surprisingly, maybe not the best athlete, but I was into sports in a big way. And there was almost no sport that I didn't play. And that's where I found my enjoyment and my comfort.
Great. All right. Mr. Shu.
I don't know. I mean, I only played one sport, so I wouldn't go, I'm the sports nut here as far as playing. I can't really think of one for myself, but I like to think I was pretty nice to everybody. So maybe, one of the nicer kids, probably.
There's always the award, I think, is one of them. Like, who are you? Who's the nicest person? Who's the friendliest?
Yeah, there you go.
The friendliest. All right.
I was pretty friendly to everybody.
Well, awesome. Well, on behalf of Dr. Carlin and myself, I want to thank the three of you for coming out today, and joining us here. It was definitely a lot of, good information. I do know that we might, have to do some karaoke at some point, because I do want to hear Mr. Shu rap. We definitely want to hear more of Mrs. Rudolph singing on that one.
I don't think you do.
Then we throw him with Mr. Frasinelli from last week, doing the Cupid shuffle in there, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. Now, I think that'll be some great stuff we can get going on. So, Penfield, we hope you guys are enjoying this. I mean, we're having a great time, just obviously seeing everyone's faces, but sharing some of, some information about us with you guys. Again, it's Dr. Carlin. We really do miss you. We do really wish from the bottom of our hearts we were back in school with you, in classes learning. I think we've all realized this, and I think Dr. Carlin said it last week. We really appreciate everything we have. We really appreciate everything we were doing, and we appreciate you guys most of all. So keep up the good work. Continue to reach out to us. We miss you. We're all thinking about you. We want to stay strong. And keep it going. So on behalf of everyone, thank you so much, and everyone have a great week.